During all stages of production, I used a large variety of new technology in comparison to my previous coursework in order for it to be as successful as it is. Doing this allowed me to be much more experimental with challenging conventions. In AS Production, I used Blogger to post updates while making a short film. I used a lot of websites in order to make the presentation of my blog creative, using sites such as Voki, Wordle, VoiceThread and SlideShare. Presentation was a vital aspect to improving from last year's coursework. However, this year I'd been much more experimental in terms of creativity, using websites such as Posterous to post updates. This was a lot more accessible, such as using an application on my phone, enabling me to record straight onto the website and save posts without publishing them, so I was able to continue editing them later on. Using Posterous to submit my work was a lot easier in terms of improving blog posts, etc. Although doing this came with many complications, such as when my laptop crashed, resulting into lost work, which did happen several times. In terms of presenting my work, I used Final Cut Express and iMovie. Using the print screens from my work, I put these into a short video, which was accommodated by background music. This was a new way of presenting my work, and found doing this way made my blog post much more interesting than unnecessary block writing. Therefore, not only did this software help me with my final product by adding certain effects in order to meet forms and conventions of real media products, but also during the planning stages. I use social networking sites such as Twitter, Facebook, AskFM and Tumblr a lot in order to easily communicate with my target audience of 15 and 19 years old, as these are the typical audiences on these social networking sites. I was happy I found SurveyMonkey because as a group we were able to gather a wider variety of feedback to apply to our music video and ancillary tasks. This gave us an idea of the audience's typical expectations and things they wanted to see that they wouldn't usually, therefore allowing us to experiment with the conventions in order to make our product unique. I believe without these sites, my music video and ancillary tasks wouldn't have been as successful as they are now, because the audience feedback is what we relied on in order to meet their needs. Without this, we wouldn't have had a focal point, and my understanding would have suffered. During the construction stage, I used Photoshop a lot when practicing digipack and poster designs. This was done by importing and adding conventional aspects in order to make it look professional and get me used to the tools I needed in order to make a higher quality design. I used Photoshop because the wide variety of tools are much better than other online editing sites, which didn't supply me with certain tools that I use, such as the spot healing tool and curve tool. Without this, the whole process would have been significantly harder due to the advanced workings of Photoshop offers. Therefore, my product would have differed greatly. During the pre-production stages of the project, I used my mobile phone and it enhanced my group's communication, considering we were filming from 3 different locations. This meant that we could easily blog, record footage and take pictures for evidence, especially when we were at 3 different locations which were away from computers. However, different from last year, I actually used my Kindle to blog posts and updates whilst filming. Considering how I'm constantly using it, it enabled me to access my blog quickly and easily without all the hassle. Without this, I wouldn't have been able to challenge the technology I had and wouldn't have been able to post detailed blog posts whilst filming. This enabled me to post whenever and wherever I wanted to. During the filming stages, I used the school's video camera as well as a tripod. This camera is much better quality than the camera we used for our previous coursework, as it allowed us to experiment with changing the light settings and effects. This was beneficial considering we were filming outside in the sun all day. Therefore, this equipment allowed me to get many interesting shots, use depth of field and take many images whilst filming. This was useful in the fact that I didn't have the need to type out a load of writing, whereas using the camera allowed me to record myself speaking it. This was also used for gathering feedback and creating animatics. This made the feedback more genuine and honest. Without the camera, I wouldn't have been able to be experimental with the type of blog posts I did, plus the quality of the video wouldn't have been the same and as successful as it is. When filming was complete, we uploaded the footage onto Final Cut Express, where I edited it all together. There wasn't much to be done because similar pop soul music products didn't rely heavily on this. However, to challenge these conventions, we included a flashback scene where the shots were black and white, this was done by desaturating them, and included a flash forward scene which the shots were brightened using brighten and contrasting tools to emphasise it is a moment in time. This was also converted into a short montage to support this by speeding up the duration of the shots, although in order to make it better quality video, I had to desaturate certain shots when the sun was too bright to make the continuity flow better, as this was a vital aspect and which we lost marks in our previous coursework. Once the video was completed, I uploaded it to YouTube to share and gain comments. I then uploaded it to social networking sites such as Twitter, Tumblr, Ask.fm and Instagram in order to collect feedback to improve. This was a good idea because our target audience was the main members on these social networking sites. YouTube was used significantly amount of times in my coursework, not only for sharing music videos but during the planning stages when analysing music videos. Watching the official music videos allowed me to grasp an understanding of typical forms and conventions used in similar products. The lack of YouTube would have made my coursework more difficult, as without the website I would have not completed my blog to the same standard, nor would I have been able to carry out appropriate research that is crucial for my coursework understanding.